Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Mark Antimate, and as I've already did the introduction over the Maker's Mark brand, I'm getting ready to try Maker's Mark for the very first time today. It's not the very first time I've had it. I believe the first time was actually maybe about 3 years ago on a U.S. military installation of Atsugi Base here in Japan. You know, I was doing a DJ event, went up to the bar, had it, and I found that I wasn't impressed with it at that point in time, but my whiskey knowledge and my palate wasn't as advanced as it is now. So revisiting bourbon and getting ready to try this, I guess you could say as a new me for the first time. We'll see if my opinions on it have changed or if it's still just a substandard or average whiskey, but we're going to find out. So trying to get into these bourbon reviews so that I can participate more inside of discussions with my peers on Clubhouse that love to talk about whiskey and bourbons. And they recommended this one to me, as well as these other two that I have off camera that you might not be able to see, the Maker's Mark Private Select and the Maker's Mark number 46. Reviews coming up in subsequent videos after this one, but the focus today is on just the standard version of the Maker's Mark Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Handmade. And they spell whiskey without the E to honor their heritage, their Scotch heritage. Let's go ahead and peel this off. Okay. Let me get rid of this. A little bit sticky, sticking to my hands. You got those tendrils falling down the side there. And this is a screw cap, not cork like I thought that it was going to be, but I guess it doesn't matter that much, as I am actually a bigger fan of screw tops than I am of cork, because cork lets so much of the bottle leave, and it's not an airtight seal like this. But there is some problems with some of these screw-on lids. You know, they got that plastic component on the top there. I don't want for, something in the summertime or the heat, I don't want this to kind of evaporate, go up, hit the top of this plastic and hit that plastic and then drop down back inside of the drink. I don't want that plastic in there to influence the taste of the whiskey, but hopefully it doesn't. So let's go ahead and pour a dram. 45% ABV, 90% proof, 90 proof. Oh, I love the sound of the pour of this one. And I think I checked on the internet to see if this was caramel colored, and no, it is not. Something written on the side of the bottle here, it says, anytime you're in the neighborhood, stop by and visit us at our distillery near Loretto, Kentucky. This beautifully restored home of Maker's Mark is a designated Kentucky and National Historic Landmark. Fully matured. Maker's Mark, America's handmade bourbon whiskey, all started because my grandfather, Bill Samuels Sr., a sixth-generation Kentucky distiller, didn't care for the whiskey his family made. So in 1953, he burned the family recipe literally and started over. His taste vision was a soft, rich, creamy, full-bodied yet balanced bourbon. Meanwhile, my grandmother, Margie, was busy designing the bottle you're holding. In fact, it was her idea to hand dip every bottle in red wax, to this day making Maker's Mark in small quantities, a little at a time, is still a family affair. Enjoy. P.S. You can learn more about our traditional approach to crafting whiskey at makersmark.com. All right, so I'm back with my notes. I just did a little small tasting. On the nose, it smells like new wood, especially right after you pour it. If you smell it immediately and you don't let it sit just a little bit, I should have let it sit just a little bit, let some of those fumes go, blow, do my standard thing. You can smell that new wood. It smells very sharp, but it's sharp and sweet. And additionally, there's caramel and vanilla notes. On the palate, on the tongue, the same sweet caramel and vanilla that you find on the nose, you also find that inside the palate. And also there's like a red fruit variety of sorts inside of there, also on the palate. And the finish is very quick and smooth. And it has a fruity aftertaste after you swallow. Is it a heavy lingering aftertaste? It lingers enough for you to tell that it's very fruity. The same fruit that you also find in the palate, but is it better than when I had it for the first time 3 years ago at this military installation? It absolutely is. Like, chalk it up due to my experience of being a better whiskey professional, so to speak, or just maybe I was just distracted at that time because, you know, I was at a party and you have so many people next to you and people are talking to you, chatting you up inside of the ear. Maybe my focus just wasn't all there with this one. But now that I'm in the confines of my home in silence and solitude, you know, I've found everything that I'm looking for, and I'm absolutely very happy with this one. For somebody that's taking the start, the first step on their bourbon journey, such as I am, I would highly recommend that you go out and just get the standard Maker's Mark. It's very affordable. It's not going to burn a hole in your pocket, and I think you're going to be pleased with what it is that they give you. It's amazing, to say the least. Let me go ahead and finish this off just to let you guys know how amazing it really is. As somebody that likes sweet whiskey, it truly delivers. Wow, thank you, Jay. Thank you, all my Clubhouse peers, for recommending this one to me. It did everything for me, and I truly thank you guys. You guys are to thank for this. I hope everything that you recommended to me, once I make it down my stroll and my journey, I hope they're all about as good as this one was. So thank you so much. Anyways, that concludes our review, gentlemen. Salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. Make sure that you drink responsibly, and as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy.